Hey guys, so today we are going to be breaking down GT Vegeta's Zenkai Awakening, and let's go ahead and jump right in. So hopefully this video doesn't take 500 years. I don't think it will, but here we go. So here he can be Zenkai Awakened. Now this is a character that I definitely wasn't expecting to be awakened. I'm sure a lot of other people didn't expect yellow GT Vegeta because he doesn't really fall in line with a lot of the themes we've been seeing recently in the game. So that's all right. And based off of the description that they put for him on the Twitter, it sounds like they really designed him around being a best friend for LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which is a bit strange because he is also yellow. So what are you gonna just always have to run two yellows together? It seems a little bit weird. And at least in my opinion, it seems like this is at least a precursor to who the next LF Zenkai is going to be. And I definitely would not be surprised at all if it ended up being Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I've been saying for such a long time that he needs a Zenkai, even though he's kind of new. People thought I was memeing. People thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding. I am certainly not kidding. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump in here to his actual Zenkai Awakening. Stats seem okay. I wouldn't really consider these to be like exceptionally high stats. Again, typically what I like to see from these modern Zenkais is at least, low 280s for the main offensive stat, and then like 182 defenses. So he falls just short of those numbers, which he's not like he's like way short of that. So it's definitely not too bad. This character has always historically been a super strict blast-based unit. He's not going to be doing much strike damage at all, so just that's something to keep in mind as we go through this character. We got some friendship level him up a little bit, but all right, let's go ahead and jump in straight away to the main ability. I'm actually going to pull up his kit on my other monitor so that I am able to compare how he looks post Zenkai to pre Zenkai. It's always nice to have. He's like way down on the list here. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with his main ability. Warrior Living with Pride. So he gets 60 ki, that is the same. Inflicts all enemies with HP downgrade plus 40% to blast damage received for 30 counts, that is also the same. Inflicts all enemies with HP downgrade minus 80% to health restoration for 15 timer counts, that is also the same. And then he inflicts enemies with attribute downgrade plus 5 to sub count for 15 timer counts. So he has the exact same main ability. This is not different at all. They didn't touch this, okay. Z ability is just the Saiyan one, right? Yeah, this is the biggest issue with this Vegeta, I think, is the fact that he actually does not buff GT, because back when this Vegeta initially came out, the GT team didn't exist. There was no GT tag, which was a major issue, right? So, yeah, this is coming back to haunt him here. Zenkai ability, I completely expect him to be buffing yellow GT. Yep, so there we go. Pretty self-explanatory there. All right, so the first unique ability is Unfaded Fighting Spirit. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15% of damage received for 15 timer counts every time this character uses a strike or a blast card. So the way that this changed was it used to only activate on blast cards, but now it's strike or blast, which is actually a pretty big change. And then the following effects occur every time an enemy uses a strike or blast arts while this character is on the battlefield. So that second part also used to be just strikes. So that only used to activate when the enemy uses strike. Now it activates strike or blast. So they get 15% he gets 15% of blast damage inflicted for 10 counts, and then inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 70% to ki recovery for 2 timer counts. Pretty good. Second unique ability is Royal Pride. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield: 40% to damage inflicted, it reduces damage received by 20%, and then inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 3 to strike arts cost. So this is actually a pretty significant buff, because this unique ability used to just be the 3 to strike cost. Everything else didn't exist. So he's getting an extra 40% damage and 20% damage reduction from this, which is actually pretty good considering that typically when they do these Zenkai Awakenings for these characters, they don't really touch the first 2 unique abilities as much anymore. So that's a pretty big buff for him. Coming in with the 40% damage there, it's pretty good to have as a baseline. Alright, so the first new unique ability is Defeated GT Inflicted Damage Up. Applies the following effects to allied tag GT when this character is defeated. He gives 15% to health restoration, so he restores health by 15%. And then he gives 30% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. So he's got some death buffs there, pretty interesting. And remember that LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku is I think it's his second unique ability that's literally just a pure last man standing effect. So he's going to get stronger when an ally is killed, which is going to get further amplified by this here, so that's pretty interesting. And then the final unique ability here is the Warrior Race's Worth. Applies the following effects to allies depending on their tags when this character is switched to standby. So Sun Family is going to get 20% of strike damage inflicted for 15 counts. Saiyan is going to get 30% to key recovery for 15 counts. GT is going to get 20% to just base damage inflicted for 15 counts. And then Super Saiyan 4 is getting 20% to ultimate and awakened damage inflicted for 15 counts. So if you guys realize, he's buffing every single tag that LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku is in, because obviously he's part of Sun Family, Saiyan, GT, and Super Saiyan 4. So keep in mind, not only does this help LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but it also helps the Zenkai Purple Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well. And guess what else? Guess who else it helps? LF Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because Gogeta is a Saiyan, GT, and Super Saiyan 4, so he's not going to be getting the 20% strike damage from Sun Family, but he's definitely going to be getting the key recovery damage and ultimate and awakened damage from the other parts of this unique ability as well. So Gogeta looking like he's getting yet another very helpful ally here. Something else to keep in mind as well is, I guess technically, because this team all of a sudden, the GT team all of a sudden now has a lot of yellow characters, right? We have this guy, we have the Oob, who I think is probably just the go-to main character that you want to use for GT. Even after looking at this character's kit here, I don't think this guy's going to outclass Oob. He's just too good. His green card's too good. His endurance is too good. And we also have Nova, who I wouldn't really consider him to be like a main go-to yellow unit for GT, but he's definitely not like the worst character of all time, right? Especially with the boost system giving him a pretty decent buff now. So this will be interesting to see. It kind of reminds me of like Blue Android 21's unique ability, where she's providing different kinds of buffs depending on the tags of your allies. But on the GT team specifically, this is going to affect a lot of the characters that are there. So this is actually going to be a pretty sizable buff, I think, for the team. Okay, then his blue card deals major impact damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, plus 20% to damage received for 20 counts on hit. So that went from 20% blast damage to 20% to all damage. And then the green card restores ki by 45, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, plus 25% of damage received for 15 counts. That's actually a sizable buff, because what this did before is it did not have any ki, and it also increased blast damage received, not all damage. So this guy actually got pretty decent buffs here from this Zenkai Awakening. I'm pretty excited to actually go in and jump in with this character. He seems like he'll be pretty good. And also, another thing to mention now that we have the sort of like boost/tier system implemented in PvP is if we go over to the boost characters here and filter by the featured tier right here, he's actually in here because he's a new Zenkai or a new character. So what that means is he's going to be getting an additional 8% inflicted damage because of that. So, it's just an additional piece of, power he's able to make use of as a new Zenkai character here. So that's pretty good. In terms of like new banners or new equipment, there's not really a new banner here. Obviously, they're just they're gearing up for the. Besides this one, right? They're just gearing up for Legends Festival, which should be dropping on Tuesday. I expect all the new characters to also be dropping on Tuesday because that's when the video and stuff is, the reveals and stuff for Legends, right? They typically like to do the reveal on the same day as the character actually coming out. And then in terms of the new equipment, let me just see. Equipment, we go to Archive here. I don't... yeah, there's a few pieces. Oh, actually, there's this. What is this? I didn't actually see this before. What is this? I guess this must be the new PvP equipment. Yeah, I guess there is a new piece of equipment because I didn't see this before. So there's no condition for this. So any character in the game can equip this. Gives 10% health and then 10% base blast and strike attack. It's actually not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't say this is one of the stronger equips in the game, but, having health on an equipment that is non-restricted to every single character, that's not bad. It's a pretty solid piece of equipment. I'll take this. Okay. We got that one. We got the one that released alongside the Zenkai Yellow EX Beerus for God Key. So this one is going... Actually, didn't even see this equipment in the game. This one's going to give key recovery to 13%, key recovery and strike attack up to 10% to both, and then 12% of special move damage. Special move damage is pretty important, I think, on equipment, especially because it's not that common. I mean, it's getting more common, actually. We're seeing a lot more equips these days having special move damage on it, so that's pretty interesting. How do you get this? Okay, thanks. This must be like a Rush Metal Shop thing. And then there's this one. which is for Vegeta Clan. So it's going to be just a bunch of blast attack. You get 10%, 15%, and then 10% again on all 3 slots. So this can have up to 35% to base blast attack, and then 10% to cure. That's a lot of blast attack. That's a lot. And then there was a third equipment. There's another Beerus equipment that I don't see in here. Do I have it in my inventory? I don't think I do. But there's another Beerus equipment that I know that they put in the game. Where is this? I don't see it. I don't think I have a piece of it. It was for like EX. Yeah, I don't have it. Let me go to the Beerus event because I remember that's where you get it from. Okay, I didn't click this. I don't want to see. No, go back. In the Beerus event here, I believe it's this, isn't it? Yeah, this. Well, I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Right. Well, this is for Extreme and God Key, so it's pretty specific, but it's pretty powerful. You get either 15% to blast or strike defense in slot 1 and 2, and then in slot 3 you can get up to 30% to base strike or blast attacks. That's actually pretty powerful. It's pretty restrictive though, because you have to have both these conditions fulfilled here, but it can be pretty good. Let me just quickly check the Rush Metal shop, because I believe that's where you probably would get that other piece of equipment, right? Let's see, if we go to other... Yeah, this is where you get the Vegeta one. Okay, makes sense. I think that's going to wrap things up here. I mean, again, let me know down below what you guys think about this GT Yellow Vegeta Zenkai. I think he actually seems pretty solid. And again, him being designed to work next to LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think is a pretty big indicator that he's probably going to be the next LF Zenkai, which we are due for, by the way. We are due for another LF Zenkai for sure. The last one we got was, I believe, was purple for First Form Frieza, so it's been a while. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one.